Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. We have a very special guest in the building. This one is unique. We never had an artist in this genre before on the show. This is the first time. We have Unxqly Dan.
Yo, man, what's
Special
good?
one today. I appreciate it.
Good, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit more about your background and how you start into music.
Yeah, so my name is Unxqly Dan. The name came about when I started singing in church at the age of 11. And there was this auntie that told me, his voice is very unique, you know. And then she ended up telling my mom and dad, you know, when someone tells you African parent something, they're going to put it on you. So since then I've been singing. And every time I sing, the feedback is always your voice is very unique. And I just put two and two together and just combine it, just Unxqly Dan. From Nigeria, originated from Kwara State. That's my origin, and I like to say I'm an Afro Alternative artist. I like to blend my culture with the Western sounds and just put the two together and just create magic. Because I feel like it's very important to incorporate where you're from and let people really understand your background.
Definitely,
That's something I really emphasize when I'm making music.
I understand. So you already knew since a young age, like you had that talent for music.
I didn't know I could sing at the time, but I think the more I kept going and the more the years went on, I've just been singing and I've understood that, okay, I've got a voice, I've got something there, and I've just developed it along the years.
When did you decide, okay, people been telling me I can sing, and then realize that, you know, my sound is good, and now I want to take it serious?
Yeah, so at the age of 26, I decided, let me see what I can do, because a lot of the people around me were making music and they would make their own songs, but at the time I was doing a lot of covers, and one guy told me, he's like, yo, Dan, you need to start writing your own music. And that really, like, I was a bit like, how do you write music? But with these things, it takes time, doesn't it? So I think I just put pen to paper and I just started creating melodies. And if I told you the first music I had, oh my, you're gonna laugh. But that's how it starts.
It's about progress, you know what I mean? It's like step by step. We don't get to, like, you know, learn everything at once. Like if you progress, it's little by little, you get to that 100%. Position. Like you lived in Ireland and then you also, you know, living in Manchester right now.
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, you know, these two places actually contribute to your music style as well? Is anything that's Ireland brought to your music or nothing at all?
I feel like with Ireland, because I was only there for like 10 years, I feel like when I lived in Ireland, there wasn't much resources for me in terms of music. So I knew I could sing, but I didn't know what I could do with it. But the moment I moved to Manchester, it was like, that was the birth of Unxqly Dan. And I was starting to understand a lot more things with music, songwriting, you know, studio times and things like that. Because like I said, when I was a bit younger in Ireland, I didn't really know what to do, and I wasn't really, do you know what I mean? But now there's a lot of resources.
You were younger as well, so.
Exactly. And yeah, man, I think when COVID hit, I think a lot of people, like I'm guessing, you had to just jump into something, you know?
I feel like COVID did well for a lot of people. It did well for a lot of people, because if you stay at home, you get bored.
Exactly.
And then you start picking up things you like to do, things you're like, probably you liked it from a young age, but you never actually decided to, like, you know, go into it, and then you start doing it. I started creating content during COVID time. I don't used to create content. When the COVID started, that's when, like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm bored. I gotta find something to do. Yeah.
So I think once COVID hit and I was just home 24/7, I just started listening to YouTube beats. I started listening to artists that, you know, I like and studying from them. And, you know, as the time went on, you know, I feel like now I'm really at a stage where my music has a bit more meaning, and a lot of people are able to relate to it in more detail, because I'm talking about real life experiences that a lot of people can relate to. So
what's the hardest part of making music? Is it writing, like, you know, a lyric or melody? What's the hardest? Because obviously you sing, you know, you don't rap.
Yeah.
Which is the hardest part, you know, when you making the music?
I feel like writing it, you know. I would say I'm a melody king. I know how to create a good melody, but then it's the lyrics. I think the way I've kind of managed it now or tackled it is, what I do is now, the moment I hear the beat or I'm in a session with the producer, I'm like, okay, what do I want to write about today?
Yeah.
I kind of get a feeling of the beat. I feel like the beat kind of carries the theme of what I'm going to write about. If it sounds like a very mellow, deep type of beat, I'm going to write about something like deep. Do you know what I mean? Like deep real life experience. It's something like smooth, you know, like sexy type of beat. I'm like, yeah, let me write R&B, Afro R&B type of love song.
I hear it, yeah. So basically, like, you know, you had a beat and then something come out from that, yeah, straight away.
That's how I work. I think a lot of artists have their own different ways, but that's how it works for me.
But a lot of artists, like those that already had in the show, most of them, like, they go for the beat, listen to the beat, and then go through the you know, the lyrics, and then try to, you know, build something on from the beats, because, you know, the producer can always, you know, make some changes on it. You know what I mean? But, you know, you describe your sound as, you know, Afro R&B. So what does it mean to you, like Afro R&B?
Well, when I did say Afro Alternative, so it's R&B included, there's soul included, there's even a bit of hip hop included. Not too heavy on it, but just an element of hip hop as well. Just it's Afrobeat blended with other subgenres. So I think it's, like I said, it's very important for me to incorporate my culture to other sort of like subgenres, in my opinion.
So what do you think it makes your music unique?
My sound, just my voice. I feel like
it's crazy, innit? Like the bass is like, you know, proper. I bet when you send the voice note to girls, man, they go crazy, man. You know, man, you know that sound, like, you know, sometimes I do it on purpose. You know what I mean? When I'm saying I put like, you know, a little bit more deep. You know? But that's not my, you know, but that's yours, you know, unique. Natural. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So obviously I have been compared to the likes of Burna Boy, but I think the only difference is obviously it's just our tone. Yeah. We got like the same tonality. Whereas I feel like the way he delivers his music is different to the way I deliver my music. And I just feel like like I said, my melodies are very like unique as well. Yeah. And the way I'm able to deliver on each sort of topics, it speaks for itself.
So you mentioned Burna Boy now, and then there's also a couple of other Afro artists, like, you know, you put on your page that's influenced you. So do you want to tell us, like, you know, those, each of them, you know, you put like, you know, for example, you said Burna Boy, Wizkid, Don Jazzy, you know, all of those artists, what did you take from each of them for you to be able to, like, you know, create your own sound?
So like, first and foremost, I feel like branding is very important for artists. So I see the way they sort of like brand themselves. Obviously Don Jazzy is a big icon, so he's done a lot for the industry. But then when I look at the likes of Burna Boy, Wizkid, they both do the same genre, but they deliver things in their own way. And when you hear their voice, you know it's them straight away. Like another example is Unxqly. Once you hear that guy on the beat, you know it's Unxqly. So whenever people play my music, or whenever someone hears my voice on the radio and they hear my voice, they're gonna say that's Unxqly Dan. So I mean, I want people to be able to just click on and say, yeah, that's Dan straight away.
There's some artists like, yo, their sound is very unique.
Exactly.
Straight away,
And I think it's very easy, or it's a trap where a lot of artists can kind of fall into, where everything is the same. And, you know, listeners, they want something new, something fresh. So it's very important to sort of just give them that. Do you know what I mean? And the longevity for that is just insane.
100%. You know, for you to be able to, like, we talk about, you know, also mixing, you know, Afro sound with the, you know, European music, for you to be able to blend in, because obviously, like, pure, you know, just Afrobeat, then, you know, you're only gonna attract those that listen to Afrobeat. How would you be able to, like, to blend your music with the commercial sound in, you know, European American, you know, sound as well?
I think one thing I always do is always put so I'm Nigerian, obviously, like I mentioned, I'm also Yoruba. So I like to put a bit of broken English, a bit of Yoruba, fuse it with a bit of English, just to give it that dynamic of, this guy's Afro. Do you know what I mean? Even though it might be like a house music or funky type of music, I make sure there's different elements on the beat where I might drop a Yoruba bar, I might drop like a broken niggas bar, how you doing, you know, something to just give it that little bit of Afro.
That thing is doing that recently a lot as well. What's it called? Ashake. Well, I love when Ashake sings, you know, the entire song in his own language. I don't understand nothing he's saying. The vibe, you know, is just there. You know what I mean? Ashake, I'll put, you know, at the moment is up there.
He's killing it, man.
He's up there at the moment.
Like I said, that's another example, because once you hear that guy on the beat, you know it's Ashake. Like, yeah, I think it's called Worship, the new song.
But this guy put a song like orchestra type of sound.
It's
You know what I mean?
mad.
When
Did
he
you
get
see that?
bro, that's crazy. You know?
Insane, bro.
Yeah.
Insane, and that's, I think Afrobeats is definitely on the rise. Because over the past years, a lot of people kind of shied away from it because they felt like they were embarrassed to kind of represent where they were from. But I think just honing your, your background is very powerful. Just carrying, like, I'm very proud of where I'm coming from. So everywhere I go, I always make sure I'm representing Green White Green, which is Nigeria.
So when you making music, do you want to, like, do you start music in a storytelling, or you just make music for your life experience?
No, I think at the time it was more so life experiences, but I think I'm a bit more intentional now. I'm actually telling a story, and from start to finish, and a lot of people are starting to clock onto that as well. Like, them, like, literally from the start to the end, people are like, yo, and there's bits and bobs that they'll be able to also pick up and relate to as well, which is something that I'm always making sure I make. So, because like I said, I make Afro Alternative music. A lot of people that are not from an African background, they might not be able to understand what I'm saying in Yoruba. But
we don't need to. We don't need to. As long as the music is good, bro. If it sounds good,
like, I want my music to give you a feeling. Like you feel something at the
That's
end.
what I was gonna ask you. So, what do you want people to feel when they listening to your music?
I want them to feel the emotion of every single bar that I'm dropping. Do you know what I mean? Like, every single tone, like, just everything. I want them to feel something. If they don't feel anything, then I'm not really fulfilled my job as an artist.
I feel like you're not delivering.
Exactly.
You want to make sure that people.
It's so easy for someone to jump on the mic and just sing a song that they've written, but you need to pour your emotions into it.
So for this long, you start making music. What's your proudest moment you have so far that you think, okay, like, I'm achieving, like, I feel like, I'm gonna get there. Like, you feel like, that's Park.
Yeah, it's definitely when I ended up on TV last year, November, and I was able to perform one of my original songs. Not just any song, but a song I wrote in the flipping living room. Do you know what I mean? And performing that on BBC One was just a crazy experience because I've seen my favorite artists perform on, like, the station like that. And, like, for me, I'm still not upcoming artist, but I know I'm gonna get there in the end. For where I am in my journey to have had that accomplishment already was just insane. And man, long may it continue.
Of course, but you put a couple of music out already.
Yes.
So what can you expect for Unxqly Dan to do, soon? Like, you dropping an album, put a mixtape out, EP, just a single you want to put out. What can you expect from you soon? Like, what's coming out?
I'm definitely looking to drop an EP. Just trying to get the mix and the mastering side of things out of the way. The EP is going to be called Made in Kwara State, which is
take notes.
So Made in Kwara State is essentially a story of me from a young age, teenage life, to then adulthood. So it's literally a storyline of my life. It's gonna be some serious bangers in there.
We'll be waiting for you. You guys, Unxqly Dan will put the music out soon, man. We need to be listening to it. I'm just telling you guys, like, this guy, if you haven't listened to his songs yet, the bass of his voice, I'm telling you, it's contagious, man. Check it out. It's coming out. So, for the genre you're making, how would you think, the next couple of years or the last couple of years has been? And we know Afrobeat is, is getting higher and higher, but obviously, like, more calm Afrobeat, which is not the type of music like Thames make. Like, it's more like calm. Do you know what I mean? Like, calm vibe. How would you think, that's, increasing, with listeners from this type of genre as well?
I think Afrobeat is very, like, the beauty of it is you can play around with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing a lot of Afro country music now, which is insane.
Afro country.
I
never heard anything like that.
It's insane. So I feel like
I like country music. So if I have,
I'll put you on. It's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. But, like, you can just play around with it, and I think Afrobeat is not limited. There's so much you can divert into. Obviously there's pianos and things like that, but I'm an Afrobeat head, and
I hear it. Like, people have big dreams. You're supposed to dream high. If your dream is not high, then you're not dreaming enough. Do you know what I mean? You're supposed to, dream high, the highest as possible. Even if you get half of it, then people will see a lot of achievement on it. So what's your ultimate goal as an artist? Where do you want to reach?
I want to be able to travel worldwide and go on a tour, perform to people in different countries, just experience that life as an artist on tour. Because I feel like it's great that I'm doing what I'm doing in the UK, but I really want to expand and just explore the world and see the world for what it is as an artist.
Having your own shows, concert up, stadiums and stuff like that.
Stadiums.
Nah, you got to dream stadium, man. If you're an artist, you gotta think stadium. Obviously, it's the ultimate one. You know what I mean? If you be able to pack a stadium, that's a dream of probably every artist. Man. You can do festivals, you do your own show, but when you get to book a stadium to do a full show in the stadium, that would be crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, 100%.
Is it something you dream about, or you taking it slow?
I think I've not really looked at the stadium side. That would be insane. You know what I mean?
You'll be crazy, but you gotta put your mind thinking there, manifesting, man, manifesting your mind already.
Coachella, if you're listening, you know what I mean? Call your boy.
Come on.
But I think also getting to a space where I'm collaborating with these artists I'm also listening to, because I've had the opportunity to open for certain artists like Buju Benson, Joe Boy, Diamond Platinums, which was a great experience. But I'm trying to take it up to a notch to put myself in a position where collaborating with these artists.
Which artists would you like to collaborate with? Would you say is your goal go-to collaboration?
That's a sticky question for the future. I might answer the question.
But the people wouldn't take. Well, right now, who you fancy, you wanna, you think your sound would match the vibe with that artist right now. It could be a Burna Boy because you guys sound the same. You have that similarity on the voice. But I don't think any artist would take it bad if you don't mention. Say, your first ever interview I've seen.
What Twitter is like. You know what I mean? I'm joking. I'll probably say Thames. I think Thames and me on a track would be insane. She's got a very soulful voice as well. I feel like we'll be able to match up each other's energy. Yeah, man. Thames, call your boy.
Yeah, give a unique Dan a call. Yeah, sometimes when we collaborate with a small artist, we can make sure we get more fans as well, because obviously there's a couple of people that probably don't listen to her, and then when they see you listen, music, you never know. Sometimes big artists need to take a shot on the smaller artists as well. But it's a connection. You need to get management. Are you currently as a colleague and independent artist? Correct.
I'm very independent. I do everything by myself.
Would you like to be signing with a deal with any production company or anything like that?
I almost did last year, but I just deaded that completely. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right platform. But I feel like there's power in independency as well. When you're able to do things by yourself and accomplish it, it holds so much more weight.
But it's harder to get to the top.
It's only harder, but you just have to put in the work. And
if the correct was a colleague and people come through, would you still deny?
It would depend on the type of deal they're going to give me, because at the end of the day, I've put in a lot of work over the years. I don't want someone to then own all my masters. Like I said, it would depend on the type of deal that they put on the table.
Of course,
it was generational watch. I mean, I got a kid, so I mean.
No, of course, You gotta make sure you provide it as well. You don't want to just your entire art to be taken all out the drain like that.
Exactly.
Of course, it's a difficult conversation to have with artists, because we don't know what kind of deal they're into.
Exactly.
Or would they like a deal? If they want a deal, you still don't want to speak, because that's something, you need to keep private as well. You don't know, what's every contract have their own, details into the contract.
There's so much technicalities, man. Yeah. And if you don't read one little line, that line could just mess you up for the rest of your life.
Definitely. So, I want you to, to leave a little message for the young people that want to make music. What would you think, they should do to, also call again to start their goal, dreaming in music? Because music is unique for those that, know it. I can't sing. You know what I mean? I'm bad at music, but
I say a lot of
people procrastinate. A lot of people, there's people that can make music, but they procrastinate a lot. They think, people won't listen to me, this and that. There's a lot of, things that, get them back from actually pursue their goal. What would you tell them? Those, you managed to get yourself to this position now. What would you tell them to do to get to that position in music?
I always say just start, because like I said, I think it was after COVID, I started doing open mics, which built my confidence. I was singing to like 5 or 10 people just to build my confidence. I'd get feedback at the end of every open mic.
Yeah.
Just start, because if you don't start, you're never going to know what's going to happen in the end. Like, I started 5 years ago. I ended up on TV 5 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I've done so many other things and so many other things on the way that are coming. So I would just say as simple as just start, and also don't look at other people's journey, because their journey is not going to be the same way as yours. Because comparison is a thief of joy.
It's a thief of joy,
So it's so important to stay truthful to yourself, because you don't want to lose yourself along the way, man. And yeah, man, just believe. And rejection is gonna come. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Rejection is gonna come.
Rejection is part of the journey.
Bro, it's part of the journey, man. If I told you the amount of rejections I got in the beginning, you would just be like, wow. But you just have to, persevere and just hope that something will come along the way.
If people think goals is yours, it's no one else's goal. Do you know what I mean? It's your dream, it's your goal. And you gotta just pursue it. You can't think, okay, because I'm getting rejected, and I'm supposed to give up, what I'm dreaming to, to achieve in life. If people have that mindset, then I'll think, there's more people be achieving their dream. People will be doing something that make them happy instead of be like, in that, oh, I done this, it didn't work out, I gave up straight away. Do you know what I mean? It's your dream. You gotta pursue it. No one gonna pursue your dream for you. So
Exactly.
if you take that, people go with that mindset, I think, they will be able to, like, you might not work out later and you find out different passion, you find out something else. As long as you start, this is me trying to preach as well. As long as you start doing what you're doing, you might find another path you will like later on in life. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's not always the straightforward line. Do you know what I mean? I might start doing this and I find out through doing this, find out something else that I like. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And on that point, like, obviously, I started making music because I love music. There's no day where I'm just not doing anything that has to do with music. Sometimes my girl is doing it, I'm like, Dan, is it every day? I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, this is how I was born. Like, I just love music. And I think as the years go by, obviously, like I said, I've started, I'm committed now. And, whatever happens. I think along the years, I'm going to look into, like, music management myself. Because I've gone through the years of understanding the music industry and the music business.
And then doing your own
at some point, I'm probably going to be an artist manager, because, like I said, music is always going to follow me no matter what. If I'm an artist, or if I'm not. Right now, I'm an artist. I'm still trying to find my feet, trying to make amends. Do you know what I mean? So on another point is, when you do start, the support is not going to be there. It might be there for like the first week, because people are excited when you start doing something. After that,
I know that
crickets, bro.
I know that
crickets. So you just have to really have like the skin. You have to be strong.
Gotta be strong.
It has to be strong, because no one is gonna be there when you're on the come up. No one. So you have to really have a circle of people that you trust, but also you have to be mindful that you're doing this for yourself.
Yeah.
Just because of people are there doesn't mean they owe you anything. You have to grind. You have to grind. And yeah, man, just don't. I feel
like people when you first start, they like it. They give you that hype.
Yeah.
But they don't want you to be consistent. When you start being consistent, that's when they think, oh, this guy, you're probably gonna make it now. I'm not gonna be there no more. I was actually talking to person I was interviewing. I think when was the last interview, about people telling you, okay, I see what you just posted, but you didn't even like it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my
People
God.
telling you, oh yeah, like I seen what you posted, but you're doing well, you're doing crazy. When you go and check people that like or comment, he's not there, but you've seen it, you liked it.
I literally had a real life experience where a lot happened last year, where I was just doing bits, everything was going on. Do you know what I mean? I was just consistently. And then I bumped into this guy, he just goes to me, oh, yo, Dan, what's good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, see what you're doing, bro. Like, keep going, and then I'm like, I'm very petty, because I know you didn't like any of those posts, bro. I know you didn't like any of those posts, but you just can't take these things personally, bro.
You can't. No.
You just have to laugh about it, bro. Like really? Like, what's the point of telling me?
To talk about it. Those that do those things like that, we're calling you guys out. So when you watch this one, we're calling you.
I beg.
Yeah. So who's your GOAT Afrobeat artist? And this is a hard question.
It's controversial, but I'm going to just say Davido.
Davido. Why Davido?
I don't know, man. It's just something about the guy. Do you know what I mean? He's just
I like
a cool
Davido. I
guy.
like Davido. Like, to be honest, I don't think I'll be able to tell you
That's it,
one,
man. I'm not gonna get a feature
one
from
easy
Wizkid.
answers. Nah, like you should. I don't think they would take it serious, man. You like who you like. You know what I mean? Like you identify yourself who you identify yourself with. So would you say Afrobeat is bigger than R&B at the moment?
I feel like I would probably say yes, because R&B is on the come up again, because it was dead for like a year or two, in my opinion. But I am seeing a lot more, rise on the R&B side of things.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to incorporate Afrobeats and R&B, because it's like a best of both worlds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's Afrobeats, R&B put in one, and it can still kind of trend. I don't know if that makes sense.
Because it's still something you can sing on. You don't rap on it. You know what I mean?
But I think R&B is definitely on the come up again. But there's just not a lot of platform for it. It's just rap. And no offense to rappers in it, but it's just rap in this country, man.
Which UK artist would you say like is the GOAT?
The UK artist that's the GOAT. That's a great question, because I don't really listen to a lot of UK artists.
Are you more like American than Afrobeat?
Afrobeats, bro.
Yeah.
Like right now, my favorite artist, if you want to just call it that, is probably Unxqly. I just love his creativity.
Yeah.
I love the way he brands himself. Like, he's very intentional with his music as well. Yeah.
No, I like Unxqly. Apart from those the situation with the girl.
That's crazy, bro.
That situation, you went viral. All internet knew about that stuff. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Madness.
So it was. We already talk about your biggest vision already, and in terms of shows, what is any show that you done? You think, okay, this is the spark that I know I want to repeat again and again and again. Obviously, you don't, the also call again the TV and stuff like that. Like perform, because you open for different artists. Which artists you open for? Like you see the crowd and you think, okay, I just want this for myself as well.
So I've opened for Bridget Benson twice, and I think it was the second time I opened for him, which was last year November. It was I just had a different energy after that, because the first time, it was my first time. I was nervous, but I still done what I needed to do. But the second time, it was insane. I had the whole crowd engaged, and that's just what I mean. Like, along the years, I've built a lot of courage and a lot of understanding as to what a performer or who a performer is. I like to really hone giving up a really good stage presence and just getting the crowd going. And that moment was just insane, because I had about thousands of flashlights waving. They were singing back to my songs. It was crazy. Like, it was insane.
It's a different emotion. Yeah,
man.
Okay, so tell us, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as someone that's a great question, actually. I've never thought about that.
Take your time.
Yeah. I'll probably say someone that really left it all, in terms of I gave it all in my music, you know, and I always stayed true to myself. I never ever changed who I was, no matter what the situation. And yeah, man, that's me.
Come on, man.
What you see is what you get, really.
So we get to the end of this now. For your fans, those that already listen to your music, and for the new listeners that will come into your music, give a little quick message about, whatever you want to tell them, for them to come out. Check I will leave the link for his YouTube page on the description, and you guys go and check it out. But you'll tell you guys whatever message you want to leave to the listeners, those that already listen to your music. You want to thank them, whatever you want to tell them, just give them a message in there.
Yeah, man. It's your boy Unxqly Dan, as you know. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that has been supporting from day one. I know exactly who you are, so big up yourselves. And yeah, man, I've got some exciting stuff coming down along the years, especially this year. I'm hoping to drop my EP, Made in Kwara State, potentially a single next month. What are we now? We're in April, isn't it?
We're in April.
So May, June-ish, we're looking at a new single that's going to be reflecting on one of the songs on my EP. and I'm gonna have a listening party. We're gonna have merch this year and a whole headline show dedicated to my EP. So yeah, man, just stay tuned, stay lots of exciting stuff on the way. God bless.
Come on, guys, you hear him. Go check out his music as well. Okay, appreciate you, man.
Oh, my God.
Good having you on the
Thanks for
show,
having me,
man.
man.
Yeah, man. Good conversation.
Blessings.